What if I told you that the greatest sporting event on Earth almost never happened? That a tournament which now stops billions of people every 4 years started with just 13 teams, survived world wars, created legends, destroyed dreams, and gave us moments so unbelievable they still don't feel real. This is the incredible story of the FIFA World Cup. Long before packed stadiums, before television, before millions of screaming fans, there was only an idea. One man looked at football and imagined something impossible. A tournament where the entire world would compete. A tournament bigger than any championship before it. People laughed. Many believed it could never happen. The world was divided. Travel was difficult. Communication was slow. But one man refused to give up. Jules Rimet. He believed football could unite humanity, and in 1930, his impossible dream became reality. The first World Cup had arrived. Nobody knew it then. But history had just changed forever. Only 13 teams arrived in Uruguay. No luxury flights, no social media, no worldwide hype, just football. Pure football. Players crossed oceans by ship, weeks of travel, thousands of miles, all for one chance, one trophy, one dream. Then came the final, Uruguay versus Argentina. The stadium shook, the crowd roared. 90 minutes later, Uruguay stood on top of the world. Football had found its greatest stage, and there was no turning back. The World Cup was growing. Italy won, then won again. The future seemed unstoppable. But then, the world broke. War consumed nations, cities burned, millions suffered. Football suddenly felt small. The World Cup vanished. 1942, gone. 1946, gone. For years, football's greatest tournament became nothing more than a memory, a dream trapped in darkness. Then came 1950. Brazil, a nation obsessed with football, a nation convinced destiny was theirs. The Maracanã Stadium was overflowing, nearly 200,000 people. The trophy was waiting. The celebration was prepared. The headlines were already written. Brazil were champions. At least that's what everyone believed. Then football delivered one of its cruelest moments. Uruguay refused to surrender. One goal, then another. Silence, pure silence. The impossible had happened. Brazil had fallen. An entire nation stood frozen. Even today, people still remember where they were. 8 years later, a teenager arrived, skinny, unknown, 17 years old. Nobody expected much. His name was Pele, and football would never be the same again. He danced past defenders, scored impossible goals, played with joy, played with magic. The world watched in disbelief. A star wasn't being born, a king was. Brazil conquered the world, then conquered it again, and again. 3 World Cups. One player, one legend. The beautiful game had found its first global superstar. Then came Diego Maradona, a player so brilliant and so controversial that football still debates him today. In 1986, he produced 2 moments that defined his career. The first shocked the world, the hand of God, a goal that should never have counted. The second left the world speechless. Maradona dribbled through England like they weren't even there. 5 defenders, 1 goalkeeper, 1 masterpiece. In just a few minutes, he became both football's villain and football's hero. Argentina became champions, and Maradona became immortal. As the years passed, the World Cup became bigger than anyone imagined. Millions became billions. The tournament became a global obsession. Ronaldo, Zidane, Ronaldinho, new legends emerged, new nations celebrated, and every 4 years, the world fell in love with football all over again. The World Cup was no longer just a tournament. It had become part of human culture. Then came Lionel Messi. For years he was called a genius, the greatest of his generation, maybe even the greatest ever. But one question followed him everywhere. Can he win the World Cup? Year after year. The answer was no. Heartbreak, disappointment, pain. Then came 2022. One final chance. One final journey. The final against France felt like a movie. Messi scored, Mbappe answered, Messi struck again. Mbappe answered again. The entire world sat on the edge of its seat. Nobody could believe what they were watching. Then came penalties. When the final kick was saved, Messi collapsed to the ground, not in defeat, but in triumph, after years of chasing the impossible. The dream was finally complete. Football had given its greatest player, his greatest moment, for almost 100 years. The FIFA World Cup has given us miracles, heartbreak, heroes, villains, and moments that live forever, because every child who kicks a football dreams of one thing: not money, not fame, not records, the World Cup. The trophy that turns dreams into legends,